welcome back to the channel. We are continuing our adventure in the Lone Wolf series of Choose Your Own Adventure novels. We are beginning the 5th book in the series, Shadow on the Sand. If you'd like the story for the previous books that we've done, you're going to have to go back and watch the stories because it's too much to cover at this point. So we get a nice little summary of the story so far for this book, but I don't know that it covers everything that we've done in the past 4 books. So... all right, I'm rambling. We're going to go ahead and get started and then do our character advancement. So let's get going.
You are Lone Wolf, last of the Kai lords of Sommerlund, and sole survivor of the massacre that destroyed them during a bitter war with your age-old enemies, the Dark Lords of Helgstad. It is midwinter in your northern homeland and a mantle of snow lies knee-deep in the streets of Holmgard, the capital, when you are summoned from your monastery in the hills by a messenger bearing a scroll, signed and sealed by the hand of King Ulnar. You are surprised to read the king's message, for it is a request for your help in solving an urgent problem of what he describes as great diplomatic importance. It seems a strange request to make of a warrior lord, whose skills are better suited to the field of battle than to parleying with foreign envoys. However, you obey the summons, and upon your arrival at the capital, all is made clear. The Zakon of Vasagonia, the imperial ruler of this desert empire, has sent his most trusted envoy to seek a treaty of peace between your two countries, and you have been asked to sign the treaty on behalf of your country. The reason for this is easily apparent. Less than a year ago, a renegade noble of Vasagonia called Baraka led his army of bandits in an attack upon the Somlunding province of Ruanan.
That was in the last book.
This mining town and much of the surrounding land was overrun and destroyed. Many Somlunding lost their lives, and many more were enslaved and forced to labor in the mines of the Makan Range. When the regular convoy from Ruanan failed to arrive at the capital, the king sent you to investigate. A great battle ensued in which you defeated Baraka in mortal combat. Without your courage and skill, the safety of Sommerlund and all of the last lands would have been placed in grave peril. Your Majesty, the Zakon is gravely embarrassed by Baraka's foul treachery, and is most anxious that our friendship and trust be restored. He begs that you send the Kai warrior, Lone Wolf, to sign a treaty of peace with him at the Grand Palace in Barakish, whimpers the Zakon's emissary, as he kneels at the feet of King Ulnar. The king rises from his throne, barely able to conceal his distaste for the fawning envoy. He turns his gaze to you and bids you follow him to the privacy of an antechamber. I have no liking for this desert realm, Lone Wolf, but I like the prospect of war even less. The Zakon is old and frail, and has no son to claim his throne when he dies. Baraka was but one of many ruthless nobles who wait like jackals for the chance to seize power, and I fear they grow too impatient to allow the Zakon to die a natural death. The treaty may not guarantee peace with Vasagonia once the Zakon is dead, but it will at least buy us precious time to strengthen our southern border. The king leads you to a window and points towards the harbor, barely visible through the falling snow. A Vasagonian galley lies anchored close to the harbor wall. Go to Vasagonia, Lone Wolf. Sign the treaty and return quickly. Even with the promise of peace, I fear the shadow of war will fall upon us before the year is out. You wave farewell to Holmgard on this bleak midwinter's day, feeling sure you will return before the thaw. But as you watch the spires of Holmgard disappear in the falling snow, you have no inkling of the shadow that awaits you in Vasagonia.
Oh, okay. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and do our character advancement as normal. If we have successfully completed any of the previous adventures, we will already have all of our information. We are going to be able to choose one more Kai discipline to add to our growing list over here. We can carry over any special weapons and items. Yeah, so that's that. So we need to add another. another skill on here, and I do believe that this time we are going to go ahead and do we're going to do the Sixth Sense option here. Sixth Sense. It is a dialogue option. All right, so that's that. You can go back to the first episode to read through all of these and learn what they are. For equipment, are we going to get another option for a shield here? Yes. Yes, we are. Okay, so we're going to get our shield back. Plus 2 to combat, which is going to bring us back up to 27 for our total combat. Oh, well, hold on. You may take your pick of the following items in addition. You may take up to 4 of the following. So that's 1. Because we have the fire sphere, I don't think we're going to need the torch and the tinderbox. So we'll take that away. We don't need a dagger. Well, no, we will. We'll take the dagger. Well, no. Actually, we are going to take the... We will take the sword. And the... We'll take the sword and the dagger. Because these are technically listed as special items over here, so that allows me to kind of, I guess, cheat a little bit and have 2 extra weapons on me. So we have the magic spear and the summer sword, in addition to these 2 regular weapons that we have. They were listed as special items, so according to the rules of what I've seen so far, the special items go in this box over here, which means that these 2 spots are left open. There was no thing that specified anything different, so I'm assuming that's what it is. So we took the sword, we took the dagger, we took the shield, so that's 3. We'll definitely take a potion of Lomspur because Lomspur plus 4 endurance, right? Okay. So that's our 4 items that we get to take. This tells you how to carry everything. You know, I didn't really read this before, but maybe we should take some of this stuff and put it in for safekeeping. So I think I'll do it like this. I'll put keep for things that we don't really need to hold on to on our person, so that way we don't risk losing it. We don't need to hold that on our person. As long as we have it, that's good enough. So we'll do that. We'll do that. I actually want to take... All right, hold on. Just trying to do a little bit of maintenance. I could do this off camera, but... Oops. I could do this off camera, but it's just not going to really take that long. And frankly, you guys can skip to the... I put timestamps on all of this stuff anyway, so you guys can skip through this if you don't want to watch it. Okay, seriously, can I please just... Oh, okay. Let's see. That can go away. Summer sword, shield... Wait a minute. Oh. Let's see. Magic shield. I'm getting confused. Okay, I want my 2 weapons at the top and my shield. And then I want my padded leather waistcoat, because that's going to be under my chainmail waistcoat. And then the fire sphere can go there. All right. And then we can delete that. We still have 3 spaces for... we have 3 spaces left for that. And if I need to move them off the sheet, I'll move them off the sheet. It's not that big of a deal. Let's fix my formatting really quick. Okay, I definitely want to take the fire sphere with me because that's going to allow me to do light situations. At least I'm hoping it's going to. We definitely want to keep all of this on us because it's important. We have all of our items. And I do believe... That's it. Okay. We know the rules for combat. We don't need to worry about that. We have all of these. That's good. And this is another little summary where they just say, oh, there's one way and blah, blah, blah. All right, here we go. Let's continue on. Hello? Read aloud. There we go.
For 25 days, the Vasagonian galley sails on a steady course for its home port of Barakish, with only a brief stop at the Duranese harbor of Portbax to break a safe but monotonous voyage. You use your time aboard the ship to good purpose, learning the Vasagonian language from the ship's crew. They are only too eager to teach you, asking only in return tales of your adventures in the last lands. For many of the sailors, these are the most exciting stories they have ever heard. By the time you reach Barakish, you have both mastered their language and won their respect. It is early afternoon when the ramparts of the desert capital are first sighted on the horizon. You push your way through the cheering crew, and join the envoy at the prow of the ship. Beaming with pride, he hands you a telescope and invites you to view the land of his birth. The sight is indeed breathtaking. You stare in fascination at the golden domes, minarets, and green-tiled roofs shimmering beneath the desert sun, and marvel at the splendor of the grand palace, which dominates this magnificent city. Then you notice that from every golden turret of the palace flutters a long, black pennant. You ask the envoy of the meaning of the black flags. Horror floods across his face as he snatches the telescope from your hands. By the spirit of the Majhan. He is dead. The Zakhan is dead.
Oops.
As the bad news spreads through the ship, you pray that the peace treaty will be signed and honored by the Zakhan's successor. However, the envoy is less than hopeful.
I would be less than hopeful.
The harbor of Barakish is deserted save for a handful of citizens clad in black, and the only sound that greets you is the toll of a funeral bell, echoing through the harbor on this day of mourning. Then a horse-drawn carriage enters the harbor square, escorted by the cavalry of the palace guard. It halts, and a dour man in turquoise robes steps out to meet you. 1,000 greetings, Lone Wolf, I am Mauk, and I welcome you to our city on behalf of my master, his most sublime magnificence, Zakhan Kima. The envoy gasps upon hearing the name of the new Zakhan. He turns to speak, his eyes wild with fear. It is a trap, you must. His warning is cut short by the blade of Mauk's dagger. Suddenly, scores of black-clad warriors emerge from the shadows. They are Sharnazim, elite Vasagonian bodyguards. They close in, surrounding you on every side. You must act quickly if you are to survive this deadly trap.
Okay. As an accomplished warrior, it's vaguely possible that we could fight these guys. If we run back to the galley, we're going to be trapped. At least if we fight these guys, then maybe we'll have a chance to run. We're not getting away on the galley. There's no way that's happening. We don't want to surrender to him because they're going to take all of our stuff, and we don't want to lose our stuff. So we got to fight.
The grim-faced Sharnazim encircle you, their razor-sharp scimitars glinting in the afternoon sunday. Take him, shouts Mauk. But take him alive. Reluctantly, the warriors sheath their swords and wait for a chance to rush you. 6 lie dead at your feet before you are eventually overpowered.
Really?
You are brave, Kai Lord, says Mauk, in a mocking tone, but you will need more than bravery to save you now. You are stripped of your backpack, your weapons, your gold crowns, and all of your special items. Make all the necessary adjustments to your action chart, but note your lost possessions elsewhere in case you find them again later. Your hands are tied behind your back and you are pushed headfirst into the waiting carriage. Back to the palace, commands Mauk as he climbs aboard and slams the door. The Zakhan awaits his prize. You fight to free the cords that bind you, but Mauk is quick to see the danger. He grabs your arm and forces a dart into your skin. As sleep engulfs your senses, you hear Mauk's wicked laughter fading into the silence. Make necessary adjustments to your action chart, and list all the items that you have had.
Yeah. That's really annoying. That is extremely annoying. I'm getting really tired of my items going away because they decided to just do these things. It's really annoying. I had a bad feeling that was going to happen, but I thought fighting would allow us to at least get a chance to run away. But sometimes they just railroad you into these things, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's super annoying. But whatever. All right, so we can delete all of this stuff then. Great. 25 gold pieces. Great. Yet again, we have been removed of all of our stuff. Isn't that awesome? So We have +2 to combat because of our Mind Blast, and that's it. So now we're fighting at a 15. Sorry, I'm tired of that.
You wake up in great discomfort. Every muscle of your body feels knotted and bruised. You force open eyelids clogged with dried sweat, and look with dread at your wretched surroundings. You are lying on the hard stone floor of a prison cell. Over by the far wall, beneath a window crisscrossed with iron bars, is a low wooden bunk covered in filthy rags. Cockroaches, some the size of field mice, scuttle along a foul-smelling gutter that disappears into a grating in the floor. You discover that your hands are free and slowly pull yourself upright into a sitting position, resting your back against the cell door. A faint draft from the corridor outside provides the only relief from the stifling heat and bad air of the cell. In the distance you can hear footsteps approaching. Then there is a jangle of keys and the creak of hinges. A door closes with a dull thud. More footsteps, they are getting louder. They come to halt outside the cell door and a loud voice bellows out, "Sleeping on duty, Sefru? You'll wake up on the other side of this door if the captain catches you." The chair scrapes along the ground, and a startled voice, full of indignation, replies, "Curse you, Hajj. The Zakon doesn't want the Northlander taken to the Grand Hall until sunset. You've cheated me of 2 hours' sleep." "Shut up, Sefru," snarls the first voice, "and listen hard. I've just come from the armory. Some interesting trinkets were found on the Northlander, worth a great deal of gold I'd say. Seems a pity to let them go to waste, eh?" The two guards chuckle greedily and discuss at length the good time they will be able to have in the city, once they have sold your equipment. "I'll take a peek at our friend," says one of the guards. "I wonder if he's enjoying our hospitality." A spy hole slides open above your head and you hear a gasp of shock. "He's gone. He's gone. By the Majhan, we'll lose our heads." You suddenly realize that you cannot be seen so close to the door. "Let me see," hisses the other guard, eager to see for himself. You hear the click of a key in the lock. This could be your chance to escape.
Okay, well clearly we don't want to. We have the option of attacking the guard as he comes in or standing in the middle of the cell. That doesn't seem to make much sense. We want the element of surprise here, so let's attack him.
The guards pull open the door, and you spring into action. Your clenched fist strikes the first man beneath his bearded jaw, lifting him from the floor with the power of the blow. His sword drops from his hand and clatters to the ground close to your feet.
Well, we definitely want to pick up the sword because we need to be able to. We need to get rid of this -4 ridiculousness that we have here. So we'll do that. So at least now we can fight with a 15. You stoop to grasp the sword, but your finger close around it. The second guard attacks. Ignore all endurance points lost by the enemy in the first round of combat, for you can only attempt to parry his blow. Win the fight, and if you win and the fight lasts for 4 rounds of combat or less, we go to this one. If it lasts longer, we go to this one. All right. So he has a combat skill of 14, which gives us a ratio of +1, which is pretty good. He has an endurance of 21, and we are going to fight. And since they don't give us the option to run, then we have to do that. We have to fight to the death. All right, round number 1. 2. He takes 5 and I take 4. All right, we really need to roll higher. Come on. 5, that's better. He takes 8 and I take 2. Ideally, this is going to take less than 4 rounds, though. Come on. 7, that's good. He takes 10 and I take 1. So that's good. We're at 25. Okay, and that was definitely less than 4 rounds of combat, so we can clear out our fight. Okay, and we can do that.
The guard clutches at his wounds and drops lifeless to the ground. You see that the other man is recovering from your blow and is clawing at the cell door to try to pull himself to his feet.
Capture him alive, because then maybe he'll tell us where our stuff is.
You grasp the frightened guard in a secure headlock and threaten to break his neck if he does not answer your questions. He immediately promises to tell you everything he knows. He says that the new Zakon fears that you are an assassin, sent by his enemies in the West. He claims to hate the new Zakon himself. He is only a simple jailer, he says, and knows nothing more.
Yeah, right. Well, we did. I just picked the option of 6th Sense, so let's find out what that has to say.
The man is lying. He knows that other guards are sure to turn up at any moment. As soon as you loosen your grip, he will attempt to overpower you and raise the alarm.
Oh, I need to know where my stuff is.
The guard begins to cough. He pleads with you to slacken your grip or he will choke to death. You ask him one more question. Does he know where your confiscated equipment is? He says he does not know. Then, suddenly, he elbows you in the chest and breaks free. You are winded, but you are determined to stop him from escaping. Your attack is swift and deadly. Before the guard can scream for help, you have silenced him for good with an open-handed chop to the neck.
Alright, well, we can leave the bodies and escape into the corridor. We can search them. We're going to search them because we need as much stuff as we can, because knowing this book, I have no guarantee that we're going to find our stuff. So, we already have a sword. I'm going to take the dagger. I'm going to take the 6 gold crowns. The jailer's keys. Alright. Okay, let's keep going.
The corridor heads north but soon ends at a junction where another passage runs across from east to west. Cautiously, you peer around the corner, but there are no signs of any guards. At the end of the east passage you can see a flight of steps descending out of view. To the west, you see a closed door.
Well, we need to search this level first because I need to find my stuff.
The heavy wooden door is reinforced with bands of black iron, held in place by huge bronze studs. You turn the handle, only to find the door is locked.
Well, we have the jailer's keys.
Once you have unlocked the door, you twist the handle and open it a few inches. You see a stair descending to a small chamber where a black-robed soldier is guarding a pair of iron gates. Through the bars you can see rows of weapons and suits of armor stacked in long racks. A sign fixed to the bars says, Grand Palace Armory.
I don't know if I want to attack the guard or not. See, this is what I don't like. It asks if we want to take the other passage, but it doesn't... We'll attack the guard, fine. You're halfway up the stairs and the guard realizes what you're doing, leaves combat. We're going to fight this guy, fine. I'm getting really tired of that kind of stuff, but whatever. We're at a -1 combat, and he has 22 hit points. All right, round 1. The 2, 3, and 5. All right, I really need to roll higher. Come on. A 7, 8, and 2. Round 3, a 6, so that's 7 and 2. And then a 4, 5 and 4. So he's dead, but we're down to 15 now. This is really starting to hurt. If we win the combat, we may search his body. So we find 4 more gold crowns. That puts us up to 10. We get the jailer's keys still. We already have a dagger and a sword. We don't need any of that. All right.
The iron gates of the armory are unlocked. You push open the left gate and wince as the shrill squeak of a dry hinge sends a shiver down your spine. Inside, at the end of a long aisle, is a workbench, littered with spearheads, sword hilts, and all manner of armorer's tools. In the midst of this tangled mess is a large, black, leather-bound book.
As much as I'd like to look for the book, it's giving me the option to search for my equipment. I am not passing that up. We need that stuff back.
You root through all the drawers and cupboards of the workbench, smashing locks when they refuse to open, only to be disappointed.
Come on.
These drawers and cupboards do not contain your missing equipment. All hope of signing a peace treaty with the new Zakon has vanished. Your only concern now is to find your equipment, escape from the Grand Palace, and somehow return home to Sommerlund as quickly as possible. You pull aside a latticed partition and enter a small antechamber. Narrow stone steps lead up to an open door in the north wall, beside which stands a wooden chest.
Alright, we can climb the steps, or we can investigate the chest. We definitely need to check every possible container for stuff.
The chest is plain except for a small square of red metal bolted to the top. There is no lock, but, instinctively, you avoid opening the lid with your hands in case it is booby-trapped. Nearby, you notice a wooden bucket and a ladle. Using the ladle, you lever open the chest and push back the lid. The chest itself is not booby-trapped, but your caution was well placed. Coiled on a bed of jewel-encrusted maces lies a yas, a non-poisonous but very large Vasagonian snake. A red forked tongue flicks out of its yellow head as it prepares to defend its valuable bed.
Alright. So I'm going back to count how many pages since the last fight. So 1, 2, 3, and this is 4. I did 1 already, so 1, 2, 3. We're up to 19 hit points. I don't really care about the maces. I want my stuff back, and fighting this thing is probably not a good idea.
You step into a perfect hemisphere. The walls of the chamber curve smoothly into the ceiling, where a small window casts a splash of light across the floor. There is a large circular dais in the center of the room laden with incense burners, decanters, quilts, scrolls, cloaks, urns, and all kinds of fruit and sweetmeats. A drawer catches your eye, protruding from beneath the lip of the dais. You recognize the contents. You have found your confiscated equipment. Restore to your action chart all the backpack items, special items, weapons, and gold crowns you lost when you were imprisoned.
Alright, I was really starting to get annoyed. But we got all our stuff back. So that's good. So we can put all this back here. And so we already have a sword and a dagger already. So we'll just take our backpack equipment, put it back there, and we will add 25 gold pieces. So 35 gold pieces total. That takes care of all of this, so we can delete. Okay, and we just got to figure out what our combat is again now. So we had +2 for that, +2 +2 for the shield, and another +8 for the. So I had 27 total, didn't I? So we have +8 for the +13 or +8 for that, plus another 2 for the shield. Sorry, plus another 2 for the mind shield. So how did I have 17? +8 +2. Oh, plus my weapon skill. Okay, that was the other one. All right. Okay, we're going to end the episode there. That was very stressful, but we got through the situation. We got our equipment back. Let's finish the page, but we'll be done with this episode.
Elated by your discovery, you resolve to escape from the Grand Palace as quickly as possible. There is only one other door, apart from the one by which you entered the chamber, which is set into the north wall. If you wish to...
Okay, so that's going to be the end of it for today. That was, yeah. I really don't like it when they railroad us into things like that. And most of the time, you don't get your stuff back. Like the last time that happened to me, I never got any of my stuff back. So I'm super relieved that we got it back. And I mean, I'm ready to continue the adventure, but I need a break after that stressfulness because losing the summer sword would have been like the most horrible thing. So we got the summer. We got our stuff back. We're equipped for battle. We're ready to fight these mofos. All right. So that's gonna be it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you come back next time and find out how we get out of here and if we die. See you next time. Bye.